Good morning. It's Thursday, August 1st, and I have a question for you. I know most of you out there follow the news, and many of you are always interested in what's going on in Israel. So here is the question. Who was Ishmael Haniyeh, the Hamas political leader that was killed in Tehran? I'll answer the question for you. He was the political leader of Hamas since 2017, and he has been the most visible leader of the group during Israel's war in Gaza. And he was a key in the ongoing ceasefire and hostage release negotiations. And his situation was very unusual, because unlike most of the Hamas leadership, he, Haniyeh, made himself very visible. He was open. He was out there parading around, doing things that were visible. He was not hiding with his life at stake. And there were many instances when there were attempts on his life. He had 3 children and 4 grandchildren killed, assassinated in attempts at him. But he continued to be a visible entity in the Gaza area and in the world. Now, he was killed in Tehran, and the news came directly from Hamas and the Iranian state media. And Hamas claimed that Haniyeh was killed in an Israeli strike on his residence, while the Israeli military has declined to comment when they were contacted by CNN. So Haniyeh's death strikes a significant blow to Hamas at a time when everything is trying to get concluded on the hostage situation. And it's also a time when tensions are flaring in the Middle East over the war in Gaza. And it raises many questions about the future of negotiation between Israel and Hamas if he's dead. And maybe it's a sign that Israel realizes that they're waiting and waiting for the return of the hostages is probably coming to nothing. Probably most of those hostages are not alive anymore. So they've probably given up, not totally given up, but they probably are exasperated. They are probably so fed up with the situation that they have to take action to show that they mean business, that they want those hostages released. But I don't think that this action is going to help in any way, shape, or form. And of course, Israel hasn't admitted that they had anything to do with Haniyeh's death. That would be foolish of them to say. In any event, Haniyeh's death must be viewed as a significant blow to Hamas at a time when the tensions are flaring across the Middle East over the devastating war in Gaza. And it raises many questions about the future of negotiations between Israel and Hamas. And maybe it's an indication that Israel, I'm assuming that Israel are the assassins, have given up with these negotiations which have taken so long. And so maybe this act of frustration will trigger something positive with respect to the hostage situation. But I doubt it. I doubt it. I think that situation is going to go on for a long, long time. And I think that this action, obviously taken by Israel, was an act of frustration as much as anything else. And you have to recognize that this guy, Haniyeh, was born in a refugee camp, and he rose to prominence, coming from a very, very poor background. And his parents were actually expelled from a city in Israel. And he joined Hamas in the late 80s during the first Intifada, or uprising against Israel's occupation in Gaza and the West Bank. And he was imprisoned because of his actions during that uprising. But he was later released and returned to Gaza. And then he steadily rose through the Hamas ranks in the following years to become the eventual leader, which obviously led to his death. He became the official leader in 2017. And in 2018, Haniyeh was named a specially designated global terrorist by the United States, which came during a period of tension between Washington and the Palestinians due to the decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, a decision which was made by President Donald Trump. So did Trump have a hand in the death of Haniyeh? No, of course not. Haniyeh ignored everything and traveled the world globally, meeting with many world figures as the political head of the Palestinian Authority organization. And he was even photographed with the president of Iran on Tuesday before he was killed. And I think his death is proof that many on the other side have given up any chance of hostage negotiations ending soon. And therefore, in their minds, the hostages has probably been decided, and nobody expects them really to be alive at this point in time. That's a terrible thing to say, but that's what I look at. And I look at the frustration of making any kind of deal here. So I leave you with that this morning. The death of an important adversary, and we'll see where it goes from there. Have a great day. Bye.